Alright, welcome back once again to Mania 7 Key World Cup 2026. We're now entering officially to the weekend of the final end of the weekend of the finals Mappool showcase, and we're pretty excited to see that how the top six teams are going to perform at least for the next week. I am Mifa, and I'll be joining alongside with a TriCast. Actually, this is actually going to be two commentators. Well, this time around, it's going to be Surfchu and Tails. How are you guys going?
Hello,
Oh, good.
everybody.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is interesting to see that this. I think this is probably the first time we're actually gonna be seeing a TriCast, or at least the second time actually, because we casted before in like around a 32 Mapple showcase before, but here we are again seeing the second time for the Mapple showcase to start off with.
Oh, it
yeah,
would be. Tricaster have been pretty fun to do. Like the last time we did was pretty fun.
yeah, really excited. But let us get into the map pool right away. I think we've talked about seen all a bit of the matches last week, but let's get right into it. And we're gonna start off with "Far Away Sky." All I see is you, a song by Kyusu Samura. This is our speed pick of the week, and it's gonna be a bit more of the dump style we have had uh, previous week also, but it's gonna be a little bit more consistent. There's gonna be some varying snaps throughout, you're gonna see for sure, but uh, it's gonna feel a bit more consistent flow throughout, I think, as well.
At least at the first glance, really, of this chart, like difficulty immediately kicks in, and this is a fairly fast chart. Not only because of like the speed of the notes, it's mostly because of like the drain time as well. This is one of the shorter picks, as you would have seen in the pool, really.
Yeah, I do want to say that this pick in general is honestly pretty dense for a speed pick. Like, you will see quite a few triples mixed in the streams here. Especially once it gets started here.
I mean,
This
it starts off dense, but then it gets somewhat denser for whatever reason because of the sort of delay-ish patterns that are just kind of ascending and descending. They're just kind of balanced throughout.
Yeah, the patterns are quite comfy though. They're pretty well spread out for your hands. So it's like not too difficult to really hit. But I mean, getting good accuracy in all of these like bursts with different snaps and stuff is gonna be quite hard. Also something to note that right here at the end, this part here right at the end that comes, is got a little trill section coming up, and that part is honestly a little bit tricky right at the end, so yeah, here. It's just small brackets at the end.
You don't even get much of a break either in that particular speed section. So that's pretty much of a speed pick that we have for Rice 1. So we're moving on to Rice 2. This is our denser co-stream. It's going to be Kairu by Ice Plumes, charted by BK Win. I would say though, I think in particular we have seen quite a bit of a, not so much of a struggle in the semifinals, at least in terms of BPM. But even though this is only a 10 BPM jump roughly, but my god, this is very dense of a bracket stream coming forward.
Yeah, I think it's even less. It's 5 BPM increase, but this one is it's way more intense on the patterns. As you can see, it's got way more brackets. Ginormous chords.
You mentioned the BPM increase. Like we're kind of getting to that point where even like the smallest BPM increase is really gonna change things up really here. And another thing that we have to note is that this chart is definitely not straightforward compared to what we had from the previous how many rounds has it been. 4 rounds. Like this has bursts weaved into the patterns, and then brackets that are very pretty much heavy on a single hand or the other. Something that you cannot really escape with mirror, I'd say.
I mean,
Yeah,
thankfully you get breaks, which is a rarity for this pool, I think.
yeah, you,
Yeah,
you
and
get breaks for sure. But I think, yeah, something you're gonna have to watch out is all of these like small bursts in between the fast or the dense chord streams here. Just once in a while you get these fast bracket bursts or like fast rolls that you have to hit. Um, they can be quite tricky to transition between.
man, these stairs, like they just transition to the brackets in such a way where, while there is still somehow some level of comfort, like the chart is pretty much designed to inflict as much pain as possible. Really, if your stamina is just not there. Also, what was that ending? That sudden burst.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Ending
that
is
was
scary.
funny. Well, we're gonna ramp up the BPM just a little bit because here we have Rice 3, we have Marmalade Butcher, 6 billion MSN. I forgot the actual pronunciation of the last word there, but this is one of the most originals from MWC 4K 2025. And as I mentioned, the ramp up in BPM is because this is a faster of our two chord scene picks here. And unlike the previous fast chord scene picks, this one is back to that single stair rolly kind of chord stream, unlike the double triple stair chord streams that we've seen over the previous rounds. And you also have these big chords mapped towards the percussion of this song.
Yeah, I think something that's gonna be really deceiving when you look at these chords is that because they are so large, there is all of these implicit mini jacks in between and just jacks in general because the BPM is getting to this 242, so that means we have these 121 BPM jacks all the way throughout. So they will be quite stamina draining, honestly, for players to deal with while doing this super fast stream.
This is a 2 minute 45-second pick, so this is on the slightly longer side as well, somehow above the average length of the charts of this pool, if my math wasn't failing me before when I saw the entire list. So stamina management is gonna be a factor here for this chart. And now here we see these patterns where you kind of have to move from one column to the other. You have to move your fingers are just gonna be moving a ton throughout this entire thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean,
despite despite being a slightly longer pick, at least the patterns are somewhat a little bit more on the forgiving side. It's not really so much of a trilling action going for it. At least the core stream itself is kind of broly in some way.
yeah, that's true, but you don't really get much of a break. I would say even though you get like this, we had like a small break section that's like about as much as you get. I think even the sections that are slightly easier are still quite demanding on just because of the BPMs in general being quite fast. Especially this part there.
Yeah, you can already see how much of a demand this has on your stamina, your fingers. Like if they're not tired, they would have already been shot at that point. And those really wacky bursts of stairs really before that final section, during that final section, is like something to behold. This is gonna be a really fun chart to watch, I think, for a lot of these, for a lot of the matches where I presume this is gonna be picked quite frequently.
Yeah, for top six teams anyway, because top six teams are gonna have to suffer a little bit more. But speaking of continuity, because I think last year we have Agony. This time around we got Resubliminate. This is a song charted by Kolpaka and Tails by yours truly there. So this is a core jack pick, and I mean we have at least songs of that kind of thing, but this is core jack at its finest, pretty much.
Yeah,
Can
this
we
is
see?
gonna be quite a progressive map, so you're gonna see it start ramping up in difficulty throughout the map, but it's gonna ramp up quite quickly, and I wanna say, and you're gonna see that the triple jacks make a return, and even one quad jack later on. But we're really just gonna get into the big stamina section here.
Lots of anchor-like movements that you're seeing throughout this entire chart. So it is, well, I'm not sure how people would treat anchors, especially at this level. But but at least in the lower BPM, the lower speeds, anchors are usually a way for you to ground yourself. But at this speed, like anchors are like something that you kind of have to maintain much of your control over because it's easy to overhit these notes. But at least like you're seeing like these doubles, triples, triple jacks actually. So something that you just have to be super careful with dealing with overall. Also, I kind of have to mention on a more comedic sense. I was about to say like imagine charting Kotoko it's not LN, and then I forgot it's not the not Frip side, like Frip side has to be LN, the Frip side has to be LN rule. This is Kotoko, I forgot.
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing to mention is that this is not a TV size. This is a full version, but chopped the middle of it. So you kind of have to get through this without actually having any rest. So it's just the thing about it is that you're gonna have to do this all the way through. You're not stopping anywhere.
Yeah, you can really see here. Here's the quad jack coming up here on the side, right here for the vocal. So I mean, it's this ending here just really does not really give you a break. You kind of just have to keep going. So it's gonna be
No breaks
quite
for you.
intensive on stamina, yeah, for sure.
Like the only break that you'll get is whenever it's basically this. Like this is your break, and that's the ending of the chart as well.
And the chart is the break pretty much. And yeah, like the replayer said there, whoever gets replayer gets in Switch, I guess the first 1 month supporter. So gonna get lucky with that one.
For sure. See, somebody already got it, so. Moving on, we have Saint Paintron. This is a song by Ruby My Dear, another also original, yeah. And in this map by Maxus, this is our tech accuracy pick. And we can already see we're getting into it. We're gonna get these fast bursts here all the way throughout, mixed in with these mini jacks, and I think this is gonna be like the main kind of structure you're gonna see throughout this map is you're gonna have these tricky bursts with varying snaps, and then you're gonna have these small breaks in between with either some mini jacks or just a break where you have to just not do anything and get ready for the next burst.
By the way, I think I saw like bracket bursts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I remember seeing those for the first time. Like I was like, wait, what is this? What is Maxus feeding these players now?
Oh, we're getting into that split geometry kind of for that one.
Yeah, so that section has like this kind of repeating pattern, so some people might get a little mind blocked on it, so I don't recommend playing this too much to get mind blocked on it for sure, but it's quite a tricky pattern, for sure.
Some of these, I like how like those that stair transition is basically like the most straightforward pattern you'll see throughout this entire chart.
Yeah, for sure. You do get a little break here in between, so.
A rarity, yeah, of course. And of course, this is also another one from the 4Q World Cup 2025. We saw a different take of this, which I think it was chartered by Abraxas and Pola, which is on the hybrid one especially. But a different take of this is interesting, knowing 7K can do so much with experimentation kind of patterns like these.
Yeah,
Like-
get into
like
this
expect-
section. Ooh.
you mentioned experimentation. Like there are some times where it kind of sounds like the music was made after the chart. Like the way this
Yeah.
is charted. Oh my god, that's spacebar anchor. Oh my god.
It's in reverse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for sure. These patterns are gonna be quite tricky, and I wanna. This part is very dense, by the way. I wanna say that like some of these bursts, they're like almost like so long that they feel like a stream, kinda, because you just kinda have to keep going. But they are broken up by these mini jacks that are quite fast. That you are just gonna have to try and keep hitting.
Well, be glad that was Rise 5 because I'm scared about Rise 6. So, sir, maybe you can take that one.
Well, now you have Kyokushi Heart X Heart by PWHK. Check the difficulty name, by the way, because it's kind of a tribute to what we had from a previous round, and immediately you're thrown with wacky rice pattern salad here. This is definitely one of the charts of all time. Lots of bursts, lots of mini jacks, and honestly, even from the notes, like the notes are pretty ominous. You're probably most likely not gonna care about your accuracy here at all. You're gonna try to just survive and combo throughout this entire thing. It's already pretty evident with the pattern you're seeing here.
Yeah, I think if you could get like 400 combo and actually reach the combo gap, you're gonna be flying on this map because this map just has so many patterns that are gonna break your combo, and it doesn't really have that many notes either, per se, so it's just a really brutal pick here.
At least you get longer downtime to process what just happened.
You know,
Yeah.
kind of making you giving you time to process, like why did you pick this, or why did your opponent pick this. Nothing in between. Oh my
Oh
god.
god, what is that stare?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait, are those
great.
spacebar jacks like you have to double thumb those? Do you have to
Nah.
double thumb those?
You can do blind with just one thumb, but these are...
Oh,
here we
no.
get into these patterns.
Oh no, here we go. This is what we said. You are probably not gonna care about your accuracy here at all. You just want to try and combo through this entire thing.
You're either a lunatic for hacking this, or rather you're just out of your mind.
This map is just extremely brutal overall for players, so...
Less
It
than
was-
2,000 notes, by the way.
Yeah, but moving on to our next song, it's gonna be Beyond Wood full version, a song by Akiri. Not a World Cup original, but it is an original, so it won't count for the prediction, just wanna clarify. This is gonna be our new pick for this round. It's gonna be their rice consistency pick, which means it's a bit of a longer pick, and this is mapped by Bloggo, PWHK, Kobe, and Wood Guy. And this map is gonna be it's gonna have a bit of everything. It's gonna be quite difficult, but not as difficult as the other picks for sure, but it's still gonna be just super tricky for all of the players to like. There's gonna be mini jacks, there's gonna be streams, as you can see, there will be bursts, court streams. It's got everything.
By the way, before I continue commentary, I am looking at the combo burst. I cannot stop looking at the combo burst. Oh my god.
Whose idea was to make these just kind of distracting? That's the DLC as well, for some reason.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay. We gotta get a grip. Well, at least being the longest rice pick, this is the most straight. Actually, not exactly. this is in a way, kind of very, very soothing for the players, I'd say. The patterns aren't gonna be as brutal as what we've seen from the previous charts. There is some level of difficulty though. It's just that the less dense patterning is kind of compensating for the fact that this is 4 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you're gonna see, like, I think these jacks are actually gonna be quite hard. This section in particular is pretty dense, I wanna say. Look at those giant brackets with these, like, jacks here in between. So this section is one of the more difficult sections in the map. But you are gonna have a break now, for example, but it's not gonna be as extreme on any of the fronts, but it's not gonna be the most straightforward pick either. I would consider this a longer mixed rice pick that's a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. Knowing that the new pick is just consistency, you just kind of expect that everything is gonna hurl at you at full speed, and at some point, you're gonna have to experience on how brutal the overall chart is. When you take into account the stamina is also another factor.
Well,
Yep.
here comes some. Well, here's the final third, and I remember seeing this part here being super hard on the hands, despite being relatively more comfortable. Again, we're talking in relative terms here compared to the other 6 rice charts, but then it also comes to a point where you are most likely gonna be super tired already, and I don't see this chart being picked super early, that early into a matchup as well. So stamina is gonna be much of a factor here.
Yeah, for sure. We do also get to this part here where we have these big jacks here with these like small breaks in between that might trip up some players.
I still
here
can't
we
get
go.
over the combo
The mini
burst.
jacks.
Oh my god, mini jacks. Like
I mean,
they're super heavy on hands.
whoever makes these combo bursts deserve a raise or some sort, because this is just beyond cinema.
Well, it's beyond wood. It's gonna be beyond cinema.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Moving on to the insanity of that, we all have got the rice fix there. So moving on to a much different route this time, and knowing. I feel like LN1 hasn't been picked that much as of late, so we're gonna have one right now. This is Isekai no Hosekitai. This is charted by UND actually. This is LN release, but I gotta say this is like I don't know what to call it, but other than timing hell of the 7 key kind of.
It is release. LN release endgame is basically timing hell for a 7K, but the density of this chart does compensate for the fact that there is a lot of these wacky releases, and we are kind of getting that territory where we're seeing the kinds of charts that we'd expect a lot of the extraterrestrials remaining in the roster would be playing on their day-to-day sessions, really.
Yeah, I do want to say that this map is a little bit progressive, so this is actually a bit of the easier section. And it's gonna get harder, and I think the ending is gonna be quite dense for some of the players for sure. And we get to the first chorus here after this section where it really starts to pick up in density.
Some terms that almost all of us, especially for those who are not familiar with 7K terminology, that we'll have to get familiar with at some point are these things called 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, like those kinds of patterns where it's practically like some of these release heavy kind of inverse-ish patterning. Really beautiful on the eyes, not beautiful on the hands though. This isn't the chart that really introduces the patterns, but we're kind of getting to that territory.
Yeah, I think these patterns are just gonna be. This map is gonna be quite draining, even though it is not on the. It's a bit on the shorter side. Just keeping up with all of these releases at all times, because you don't really get a break from releases, because even in the comp sections, there will still be releases. And here we have the ending section.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, these oh god, these sweet LN releases is I mean despite Delicate had an FC is a 98.3%, even with the OD that is under 6. Which is kind of funny to see that we're not gonna be seeing that high of an accuracy anymore.
Well, I mean, if Delicate is already struggling to keep the 200 countdown, how much more for the actual matches where the players have all of the pressure in the world now? Also, this is a short pick. And now, for our Ellen coordination pick, we have an OSO original from OWC 2025. We have Millie's Peach Pit and Cyanide, a chart by Ruka. And I'll tell you, this is one of the most beautiful charts that you'll see throughout this entire pool. Lots of these longer holds, lots of these rice bursts in a way, kind of reminiscent with Seisan from the previous round. But again, this is pretty much very different. This is coordination all through and through.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a little bit just like tricky, I want to say it throughout. You're gonna see mostly these shield patterns coming back, as you've seen in previous week that really got introduced. They're gonna come back to this week, and the BPM is quite high, I want to say. So even though they might not look too tricky, they are quite tricky overall, and especially this section here, once it really gets started here and everything is just getting mixed in, it almost feels like a little bit of a jack map you're playing, because you're just hitting all the notes almost.
Yeah, this is basically chord jacks with holds. And you're seeing these overlapping holds as well, like super easy to bounce your fingers off that claw hold that you're going to be having on your keyboard, really, with the jacks.
It's very easy to misjudge, knowing that the shorter releases that are just happening around throughout is just insane. Even though the OD is much more forgiving than the Ellen release, which is funnily enough, it's kind of funny to see now that's actually top 60s are gonna be performing, knowing it's starting to blur every time the Ellen coordination goes.
I do think that this is gonna be a favored pick, really, for the LN teams remaining. This is not gonna be a pick that you'd really want to ban, I'd say, like strategy-wise. Maybe something you might even want to look over, really. I feel like, for some reason, I just feel like this is gonna be a really popular pick.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely gonna be like, I think something that they do want to pick, for sure. It's not gonna be as just pure coordination focused as like the previous weeks. So I think a lot of people will be more inclined to pick it.
Also, this ending section is pretty rough if you're not managing your stamina. Lots of these basically chord jacks, really. And there is some release element as well, so you have to be super careful with those staccato LNs.
Yeah, for sure. But moving on to our next pick, we're gonna have our LN density pick. This is Plumage by DRZ1128. And this is a map by Kobe and Blocko. This is a really easy map by two easy mappers. And this is gonna be
Indeed.
quite I wanna say straightforward pick. It's gonna have big density. It's gonna have a lot of bracket patterns mixed in throughout with the density, so that's gonna be something to watch out for. And the BPM is also just kind of high, but you do get a lot of breaks, I wanna say, in between, so it's not gonna be the hardest on the stamina.
like how we're talking about how this isn't gonna be hardest on the stamina, especially considering that we have two more Olympics. We still have an EX Olympic as well. Like we're talking again,
yeah.
we're talking relatives, relatively speaking, about the other picks in the pool, which you're about to see a few moments from now. And this is our Ellen Density
Yeah.
pick, by the way.
Yeah, top 6. I mean, in relative to the top 6 teams that are going to be playing, for sure. Even though the BPM is relatively, I guess, mostly kind of the same, like semis, although just a little bit. I think the patterns are just kind of what speaks for itself, knowing how the density kind of correlates to just almost full inverse, and some of them are kind of not. So the approaches are probably going to be different for team, really.
Nice heart,
Yeah,
Ellen.
Yeah, we have the hard Ellen for the hard vocal there.
Oh my gosh, that transition.
And
not
back
the
to,
easiest
yeah,
burst.
back to some of these kind of wackier stuff, but it's par for the course for density anyway, at least for finals.
Yeah, you expected to see like a bit more of that O2 Jam style long notes pop up, especially when it's density at this level. It's just kind of a given that they will show up, so you will also see these cool hard patterns in between once in a while.
Oh my gosh. Those hits. Those hits
Yeah.
hit really hard.
Yeah, well, that's just the Ellen density pick, and then we're moving on to Ellen inverse. This is Fragile Violet by Togenashi Togiari. If you don't like full inverse, you're gonna have to look away for 3 minutes, because at its heart, this is kind of a chart that you just kind of like took away every single and then just make it full inverse. This is what it comes out of it.
Yeah, the inverse picks are really wild.
I do want to say that there are these like longer gaps in between some of the notes, which can be a little tricky, because that's not, you know, if you were to convert them, they wouldn't have these like bigger gaps in between. So this is a part of the skill for this map, but it is a bit more straightforward than the previous week's inverse maps, where it's like the rhythm of the song is quite easy to understand.
I saw like a very fast mini jack. Actually, not a mini jack, more like a shield. Really, have to be super wary of those. There you go. It's
that
it's
one.
actually on the out. It's actually on the outer columns as well. You have to be super careful and not inadvertently release one of these holds. Well, thankfully, it is a little bit on the longer side. This chart is a little bit on the longer side, so misses are still easily recoverable, especially now with the density of this chart. Like, you're gonna hit the 400 combo cap bonus easily in this break.
Yeah, for sure. I think getting good accuracy on this will definitely matter quite a bit for teams that are still in. I do think that it's of course still gonna be hard to combo, but it's gonna be a little bit more simple, I wanna say, than some of the other picks.
I think some teams' mileage may vary on whether or not they approach Ellen inverse in some kind of way, because I don't know about you, sir, but I think like there's one team in mind that I think would be really would want to play this in Ellen inverse kind of.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. As you saw that guitar solo, by the way, that's what I meant by these. I think that's like count as like a 32-bit pattern already. O2 jammers, please correct me. Like those sweeping release holds kind of pattern-ish. So it's right here.
I mean, I guess it's kind of a sweepish kind of way, which is in some way it's just kind of like well, I guess faster core stream in inverse kind of.
Also, I kind of have to mention like at least on the at least for us.
Oh no, the mini jack.
Oh my god. By the way, for us plebs who cannot really inverse that well, if you get like the base chart of this, at least from what I saw for the patterns, this is like what, like a 5 or 6 star chart as well. Like the actual base chart of this would have been put in the round of 32 or round of 16. That's actually wild.
Yeah, that is pretty much it for Ellen Inverse, and I guess the new Ellen pick. What would you want to introduce that?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, so we
This is
have
gonna be Daisy Blue by Keno, and this is mapped by Yi. This is our Ellen consistency pick, which is gonna be a bit more of like a mixed long note pick, but it's gonna be a bit more focused on you being able to consistently get whole combo and have good accuracy. So it's a bit on the longer side at 4 minutes. Uh, it'll be a bit of a mixed. Yeah, you'll see like all the different kinds of skill sets represented throughout for the long notes, but not quite as difficult ever as any of the individual picks for sure.
well, if there's any pick that looks and plays like an O2 Jam chart, it's this one. It's gonna be that mixed LN with lots of these short holes, some of these shields, pretty much a feature especially. So really excited to see what the noodle teams are gonna deliver on this particular chart.
I think most of the some of the at least O2 Gem style kind of charts are just kind of somewhat mostly long. So this kind of fits the bill in that you're just gonna have to hold the entire way through without actually having column locking in somewhere or one way or another. Even some of these kind of Ellen Inverse kind of spiced it in between. Some of the bursts as well kind of just kind of screams O2 Jam in some way.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like I'm pretty excited to see how the people are gonna combo throughout this entire chart, because the length of this thing is gonna surely is gonna be a factor. So oh my gosh, those bursts.
Yeah, this map
Oh,
just doesn't like really let up completely. You see here, we just keep going with these patterns, and you can see Delicate has 9,000 combos, so there's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of combo in this map.
So I can see might actually be a factor throughout this entire chart now that I don't know, mentioning the combo anyways. This is like I kind of it's kind of hard to believe that this might count as a straightforward pick for a lot of these players. It's pretty incomprehensible in a way.
Also, yeah, I mean, we've seen that 7 note chord LNs like that, yeah, and it happens like earlier before, but just take note of that 7 note chord. Yeah, it'll be useful later on, I think.
It's a secret tool that we'll use later.
Yep.
So this is just a short break in the action. Like there are parts where you're gonna be holding on these longer LNs and just, which kind of serves as a break as well, because you've been doing a lot of these super dense patterns. Kind of want to take advantage of those stuff right there. Okay, that's a taste of those 7 note chords. These shields, by the way.
Yeah, there's so many shields mixed throughout. They just start appearing later on in the long note picks as you go up in rounds, really.
And more Ellen Inverse like this, and some of them also I just kind of not generously well placed gaps, but it's definitely something to look out for. And this is the only right section the entire
Yeah.
LN chart. Also, yeah, the one that I talked about earlier about the 7 note chord, it definitely happens, but watch that. It's slowed down, so you can't really autopilot it.
Have to pay attention to the variation in hold lengths for those 7 note chords. I wouldn't be surprised like if it's super close. Like we're gonna see the score cap swing hard on those particular holds. Now, we're gonna shift to the hybrids here. We have Meta Human Boy, Illustrious Drifters. I actually thought that we were on the pause screen thanks to the storyboard.
Yeah, I thought it was we were pausing actually in tournaments. I thought that's possible.
Anyways, this is our generic hybrid pick, and this is gonna be a little bit more on the LN side as we've seen from the hybrid ones throughout this entire World Cup, really. And we're already seeing these noodles, like they're on the faster side as well at 185 BPM. Gonna be a pick where everyone has to be super careful because there's like lots of awkward patterns as well. These double stairs, that's pretty reminiscent of what we've seen in LN3 and LN5, and now these chord stream section, you have to take advantage. Oh my gosh, that transition! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be a battle of transitions, I'd say.
You're gonna keep switching between like these long note sections and different rice sections, and it's just gonna be really hard to just keep focusing on what are we doing now, because the pattern just keeps changing all the time here.
Yeah, it doesn't really integrate all that well in terms of LNs or rice. It's segmented enough, so you definitely have some cues on whether or not this switches to full LN or even rice portrait, kind of like this one. So it's really segmented. So it really you're gonna have some time to have room for switching styles really in terms of playing.
But with the pressure of the match, really, it's kind of just have to go into this chart where you're gonna try to sharpshoot as much as possible in the rice sections. Gonna try to hold your combo very well on these noodle sections, and I feel like that singular break section that we've seen like a few moments ago is gonna be like the only moment of respite that everyone is gonna have. Like even these transitions are so hard, because like while it is telegraphed, it might not be fast, it might not be slow enough though. And now here comes the tech section, because of course there has to be.
I want to say it's more of a chord jack section. You're gonna really try and be hitting those triple jacks. Those are gonna be quite difficult in between. And then there are these small bursts in between, but they're not gonna be the hardest part. And then it transitions into shields.
Yeah.
More shields. We love more shields.
We love our shields in 7K, I'd say. And now these fast stairs transitioning into these LNs that are pretty much emulating the stair-like movement from those stair bursts. So this pattern is really trying to transition from one section to the other. If you're a player who cannot do that, it's gonna be something you have to work on throughout the next few days.
Yeah, definitely a longer side of a hybrid. So you can't. There's some long songs, at least 3-minute long songs. Really, it's just on the longer side of the pool, really. But that is the generic hybrid as far as goes for hybrid 1. We're moving on to hybrid 2. This is Akazu by Katagiri Fujikafu. Actually, this is an interesting one. Knowing if we've seen a long note oriented hybrid, or at least segmented full LN hybrid, this is a little bit more focused on the right side. So definitely some teams who are very well rehearsed in terms of rice can actually play this without any sort of concern. But this is also very tricky on the rice on that side. So really, I don't know what to expect from those teams that are really well, at least jack of all trades.
Yeah, this map is honestly very brutal. You can see the OD is 7.2, so it's also gonna be quite hard to get good accuracy on, especially with these long notes that are quite short, just because it is 217 BPM. This map is just really hard.
Like this is effectively what? This is effectively like a rice 1 for a different round, and then you're gonna put LN somewhere. Like that's kind of this start, but then there's some mixed rice element to it as well.
If your eyes are keen or just very peeled enough, you can consider that maybe this is like some sort of like rice 8, but
Maybe.
something like LNs are just kind of mixed in throughout. You kind of don't want to treat it that way, especially kind of these
Yeah.
LNs are just very release kind of heavy at that point.
Yeah, the others are very intrusive. You're gonna try to act as much of the rice as possible and suddenly hold. Have to be super
Yeah.
careful.
For sure. The
Thankfully,
burst are just
yeah.
really ruined overall, so it's gonna be quite hard, I think, for teams to keep combo on those.
Yeah,
Oh
there
my
goes the
God.
LNs. These more sweep-ish kind of LNs, and not really too much of a going on in terms of at least density. Is definitely pick up a notch, and thankfully it's on the shorter side, so you can't really you don't really have that much to play on much on the longer side of a hybrids because it's just around 2.5 minutes, kind of.
Oh my god, those stairs. That course it was really fast. Well, that is definitely a fun chart. And now we have the obligatory Camellia pick. Ghost Girl cannot be killed. The chart by Remoring. This is our technical hybrid pick. If the previous two hybrid picks were not wacky enough for you, well, there's this.
I mean, to their credit though, it's not as wacky as the semis,
Yeah.
but it definitely has its fair share of kind of funny patterns.
Yeah, I would
like-
say this is like a little bit easier to see what's going on with the patterns and get the rhythm, even though it does have these different snaps and stuff. But it's gonna be a little bit more simple. But I say that, but those jacks on there, those shields, oh my god, they're so fast. This map
They're on
is
the
really hard.
They're on the space bar.
The mini jacks!
Oh my god! But well, okay, yeah, sure. It's the lack of whack. Like, it's not gonna be as wacky as last time. Kind of compensating for the fact that there is an increase in difficulty. But I'm pretty sure like the mini jacks are already whack enough. And then we're seeing this symmetric kind of patterning. Like you're moving your fingers, left and right hand fingers, like pretty much the same way, but one hand is gonna do rice, the other is gonna do LN. They're gonna alternate, and now more of these
Wait.
jacks. Oh my gosh!
That is definitely one of the situations where you kind of have to double thumb jack, kind of.
Yeah,
kind of
you
stuff.
have to.
Yeah, this
Unless
map
if for
is-
some reason you could mini jack like what? Mini jack like 200-ish BPM, like 250.
Somewhere around those lines, yeah.
Yeah, we do get a small break section. So you can take a moment to prepare for what's about to come afterwards.
The mini jacks even
Are you
not friendly.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's a break section, Tails?
That's a break section.
What a combo break section!
Doesn't say what kind of break.
Yeah, at the very least though, even though with the mini jack section, this is at least fairly standard for at least to the finals level. Really, it's not apart from those mini jack sections, it's just fairly standard, just kind of intertwined in between the patterns that are just very well sweep. But although the last quarter says otherwise.
Yeah, the last ending section, you'll see it soon, but the ending section of this map is definitely something. I think
is-
players are gonna have a trouble on that one.
Okay, we're about to get there. We're just gonna give you a few moments to look into these patterns. Okay, here we go.
Oh no, there's an FC gone right there, right? I think it was Delhi K's of a replay there, but funny patterns. Okay. Oh, the 3-note checks.
Oh my god!
No!
Those
no!
packets! Like, oh my gosh, a ring finger. Oh my gosh. Well, if your middle finger and ring finger cannot move as freely as possible in preparation for this chart, good luck.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. But with that, I think it's time you see something for yourself. Up next.
Take it away.
So pure, so deep, so real.
That was Spark of Mayhem, a song by Kobario featuring Blazevan. What a sick EX1 pick we have. I can see this one already being mapped by so many people in different modes. Uh, so yeah, super cool song. But I want to give a shout out to all the people involved here. We have illustration by Chiari, as well as graphic design by Panfulu and Destriti, as well as storyboard design by Carissa and Ning Blanc. And as always, we have quality design assurance by Naria Cat, Alex Dunk, and Low Graphics, as well as video and design coordination by Sakura006. And also shouts to Delicate for that sick replay. Really hard map.
It's really hard. Like we're not even gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk about the final third. Like the intro in itself is already gonna be super stamina draining. While sure the patterns are pretty straightforward, but you kinda have to remember, like that was already 230 BPM. And then you're gonna try and manage your stamina because that final third is just gonna be changing things up so hard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mention that I'm just gonna quote whatever it was said. It's like Rise 7. It is definitely beyond cinema. Knowing the last third is just sped up, and it's just crazy to think that 270 BPM can net you some sort of pattern that are just very very insane.
Okay, so well, let's continue the insanity because now we shift our focuses to the Noodle EX pick. We have F-Rap Beat featuring Mustard. How to make otoge music. A chart by SW Lai. I forgot how to pronounce your username, unfortunately. But now, well, I remember playing this chart in different rhythm games, and this chart delivers on the expectations that were set in place by like those charts that we've seen. These mini jacks, by the way, are very intrusive as well. Something you have to be super careful with is just, well, basically everything really. Like if there's an intrusive pattern that you could think of for this chart, it's most likely gonna be here.
It exists, and I think Mini Jacks delivered into that expectation.
Oh sure.
Yeah, you're gonna see a bit of every like pick style that we've had in the pool mixed into
the
this
gaps!
one.
Yeah.
Gonna have
Also,
these releases here.
any bets on the commentators gonna try to dub through this? Yeah.
Oh, the Mini Jacks, man! Come on,
my
the
God.
inverse as
The
well.
stairs. The sweeps. Okay, that's a 32-bit pattern if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, you might also notice that this map is OD5. That there's definitely a reason for that.
Yeah, kind of
You
have
don't
to.
really.
Yeah.
You don't really get much of a break either, so it's not really that much. Not really that much to contain with.
The gaps, man. Like the gaps are so thin. You have to be super precise with your release timing, and then you're gonna have to hold out your keyboard yet again. And now here comes the hard LNs. Lots of these. Actually, this is what the bracket chart at this point.
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna have to tune it to 11.
Yeah.
Big density section here at the end. Just
Okay, time to see the da part. Surely. Oh my god, that's brutal.
Okay.
That's brutal.
Okay, that works. Oh, the Mini Jack and the descending stairs as well. Well, that is as far as EXLM pick goes, it is pretty insane knowing EX2. But we're shifting on to the EX or the mini tiebreaker hybrid. Actually, I'm kind of interested to see because this is Very Magical World by Camellia. This is charted by Ruka, Blocko, and UND. But this is the 10 stars of a mini tiebreaker hybrid, so be wary.
Yeah.
Yeah, this map is just really hard, and you're gonna be seeing like everything in this map. Like if there's a pattern you can think of, it's in this map.
It's kind of funny. 10 stars, mini tiebreaker. This is again on the longer side. Yeah?
We're not even the grand finals yet, but the finals has a 10 star.
I know! But that's kind of warranted really with the patterns that we're gonna be seeing throughout for this round and the next really. Kind of no surprises. It's just really funny to put it into perspective though. Oh my gosh, you have to be careful. These BPM changes, these patterns actually going faster and faster. Have to be super careful with the control.
You see it alternates here between these Rice and Elon sections, but quite rapidly, so you can't get to like really get comfortable in any one of them, really.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think in comparison to Cold Fusion from Sammy's, it's very most likely just a control of a test of endurance and control, because everything else in this chart are just blended without any sort of consideration with your fingers, because these are inside these.
Yeah, like you are not gonna. Oh my gosh, those mini jacks into grace notes as well. Like this chart is. Oh my gosh, that mini jack. Oh my gosh. There's like lots of patterns that are just made. They're just placed there to throw you off your momentum if you're not careful enough.
Yeah, well, when your chart has, when your collab chart has Bloco in it, it sure is definitely gonna be an ET chart.
A chart by an extraterrestrial for extraterrestrials, as we'd say.
There you go.
Here we have a little bit of coordination-like section.
That's inverted chords.
That's inverse. That's inverse.
That's inverted. That's an inverted chord scheme, and that was a break section as well. Oh my gosh, that transition.
Okay, there. Yeah, well, this is a little bit more on the not core stream per se, but this is just kind of expected to see kind of like Rise 5 situation. But the control heavy is just what really demands you at this point.
Your fingers must be screaming already at this point.
There are so many LN sweeps in there. It's just kind of insane to think about that the control is needed. It's just off the roof, kind of.
And like, there's still a full minute. There's still a full minute remaining, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go again. There you go.
Definitely gonna be a stamina killer for sure. Like, if you pick this against your opponent, it's like the first pick. Like, good luck on the rest of the map pool.
I think the other team will be. The other team will be groan at you. Why do you pick this so early, or why do you pick this in the first place?
You have to remember, there's also 3 other 4-minute picks as well. 2 or 3 more. Obviously, there's Rise 7. There's LN5. So choose your. Better get those. Better get that stamina up as much as possible.
Still an FC, by the way, by Chewy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still an FC.
But with that, let's get into a tiebreaker. It is gonna be Co Frostwalker, another Ozu original from CWC. This is gonna be a big collab between Mochineko, Blocko, Kobe, Akasha, and X-Neko. And this map is so hard. Like, we thought that tiebreaker was hard. Like, we just saw the EX3. This one is hard.
It's
Faster
hard.
BPM. Faster BPM, by the way, compared to the mini tiebreaker.
If you know the song, like it goes from 160 to 220. Although it's a constant 220, so not really goes. It's not really that much to say other than maybe just take frequent breaks before you go into this, knowing if you're going to a tiebreaker situation, then I bet your fingers will definitely need it.
Well, we're about to see the chart. Here you go.
Yeah, as you can already see, we're already into it. We have these super fast burst streams here, as well as these intertwining long note sections that come in between. And these ones are really tricky.
By the way, we haven't seen like much of the intro because there's like lots of patterning on the intro as well. Like we already come in like some 2,000 combo into this chart.
Yeah,
So
so,
just
like
imagine.
if you're just score about 180k and there's still like about 3,000 combos. So just count that. I didn't, but how many knows that it would be in this chart?
Yep.
Yeah, and here we get into more of a main long note section here. That immediately
jacks.
transfers. Yeah.
Like no surprises. Like I feel like a lot of the charts, especially grand finals type, grand finals Mappool in general isn't exactly designed to be full comboable. But knowing the players, they're gonna find a way to full combo the charts. We won't be surprised if it happens, but regardless if it happens, we're still gonna be shocked.
Well, they will persevere for sure. We have full belief that they will persevere.
Yeah, I do want to say you don't really get a break. Like, this is the most break you get on the entire map because even like the combo sections are still quite dense.
Like, this is effectively the only break that you really get, huh?
Yeah, well, as aesthetically pleasing patterns. Speaking of that, we got sections that are just kind of funny.
These sweeping LNs. Like a friend told me.
Oh,
A friend said, "Oh yeah." A friend told me that they would call these LNs like dancing LNs in a way. They just swing back and forth as if you're in a dance.
Tornado.
Yeah.
Now we
Again
have
goes the core jack.
a core jack.
What BPM is this again for the core jack?
This sounds like a
130,
180.
130, yeah.
130.
Pretty sure. I would assume for those. Like, oh, maybe it's a bit faster. I don't exactly remember. I think they're 1/3, so they might be faster.
Now raise your blockos for ET blocko section. This
There you
part
go.
here is so hard.
Spam ET Blocko in the chat right now.
Like, oh my gosh, these bursts are so demanding.
At least you get breaks. Well, kind of.
Yep, here's another little break to recover your stamina here.
Just a little, but like, you kind of don't want to turn off your brain there, though.
Yeah, for sure. And I do want to say the ending is quite...
Oh god.
Oh my god,
yeah, I
that
think it's
intro!
really hard.
Imagine just going to like a super calming mini inverse section and suddenly it's put into that funny burst.
Thanks Mochineko for that. Oh, there you go. There goes a little bit of a kind of funny inverse. Well, not inverse really. Kind of finger switching motions there.
Oh, here we go.
The Kobe.
Kobe from downtown. With these patterns, like this is an extremely hard, extremely demanding section, and I cannot believe that this is what we'd expect from the grand finals pool.
Ah, there goes the Blocko. There goes the ET Blocko, that is, of the section.
Yeah, for sure. But It's not over yet.
Yeah, we still have like a full minute.
Oh, what? The shields!
Oh yeah, they're so tight. The shields are so tight. Oh my gosh. And like what? We still have a few moments.
Here
We're still
comes
not done
the
yet.
really hard section.
Yeah, if you're not tired already after that, we still have this.
Okay. Or stream time. On the mini
Hello,
jack as
big
well, too.
chords. And oh my god,
Okay.
this
Here we
is-
go.
Oh boy.
Ah, no. Ah, there it goes. There goes accuracy if you're you're actually hitting them.
Again, we said that the mini tiebreaker is not the tiebreaker for a good reason. There you go.
If there's ever a mini tiebreaker that exceeds this kind of density, then right before that, don't get your hopes up because there's also a tiebreaker like this one, for example. And what a replay that is by Deli K, only with 7 misses and a few slider breaks in that as well.
Yeah, a crazy replay by Delicate, for sure. Shouts to all the replayers this week for putting out these super amazing scores on these crazy maps.
By the way, I have to emphasize that the final tiebreaker, by the way, is 10.35 stars according to the notes.
Yep, 10.35 stars. So
This
this is
point 14 ahead. This point 14 ahead of the mini tiebreaker.
I mean, if your ending is gonna make it ramp up, then it's gonna be that it's gonna be the ending that ramps up the star rating for that reason.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Yep, that was a final Mappool for the showcase there. I really emphasize that. I think we all do. We all really want to emphasize that if you're tackling this kind of Mappool, be sure to take breaks in between because you're really definitely gonna need it for the matchup later on, especially for the top 6 teams that are even on the winners bracket or the lower bracket as well.
And also, something that the top 6 teams need in going into the finals weekend is your support. Remember, the OC Mania 7K World Cup 2026 team support banners are up on the OC store. If you want to support the remaining 6 teams, you can do so by buying a banner that will decorate your profile for the next few weeks. You can also buy banners for the teams that have been eliminated. You can buy multiple banners. You can buy multiples of the same teams, multiple countries banners. You can buy all of the countries banners. It doesn't really matter. Like, you can just buy anything that you want. If you happen to pick the winning team's banner when you purchase them, that banner will stay on your profile for at least as far as we know until the next iteration of the 7K World Cup.
Yep, this has been it for the finals Mappool, and I'm pretty sure the schedules will be gonna be ramping up sooner or later. But the finals Mappool is up for grabs. Good luck for the top 6 teams. This has been Mifa, Searchu, and Tails. We'll be signing off. See you for the next week, and take care.